Yeah, the lads are back again. Welcome to another edition of Set the Trend podcast, where we look at street sound history over the last 30 years. And today is one of them shows where we look forward in our calendar of DJs who we've invited in to talk about the history. But before we get there, I have my co-hosts, my fellow colleagues in the building. Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir? You all right?
I'm fine. How are you?
You all good? You all good?
All good? How was last night?
Putting a smile. Well,
how was last night?
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet?
Bittersweet. Great party. After party.
And
didn't happen.
Money.
Oh,
so
I knew you were going to go there. Yeah, if anybody finds 680 quid around about the South London area, please, in an envelope.
He does that to embarrass us DJs because I don't know if anybody gets paid that much on our circuit, but anyway. Eastenders.
How are we doing?
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
You okay?
Wonderful.
How are you looking forward to having having a chance to interview your former boss?
I can't wait for it. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good, bro.
It's going to be good.
All those times that he sent you to make the tea and everything so you can get back. Boy, so today we have a DJ, a sound, an iconic sound in the game, and one of the first super sounds in the game, if not the only super sound, because I'm not sure I know of any other sound that had the amount of DJs, DJs and mic that went on to actually go into that top level. I don't think there's any other sound, but we'll ask him about that and see what his opinion is. And it's a street sound that has helped to break music and has broken music and has also helped to nurture DJs and sounds careers, whether they accept it or not. Welcome to DJ Legs from Latest Edition.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world.
Or should I say one half of Latest Edition, because there's also Emai, DJ Emai, before I get slapped on my wrist. Before I get slapped on my wrist. One of the first things that I got asked, I think it's one of the most questions that I've been waiting to ask over the last
20 years.
About 20 years.
20 years.
And this is, think about this question. I'm going to give you at least 5 seconds to think about it. Yeah.
I'm a slow thinker.
It's going to be your hardest question throughout this whole interview.
Oh,
so you've got to get it right, because the gentleman's already answered the question. So, but you haven't seen it yet. Okay, so we want to know if this
I think I know what you're talking about.
So, DJ Legs.
Yes.
You gave Eastender the name Super Kid.
No, he had the name Super Kid.
He had the name Super Kid?
Yeah.
No, hold on, so we wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
We wanted to clear that. So clear that up for me, because he was called Super Kid.
He was called Super Kid, yeah.
Okay, so how did that, so that wasn't you, because the stories is that you gave it to him.
I gave him his name, not Super Kid, I gave him the name Eastender.
Oh!
So
because
he's why.
Who gave you Super Kid?
Super Kid is something that he had before, because obviously he was quite a young DJ at the time.
Thank you.
Hello,
boss. He's still in the He's still in the boss mode. You know, he's answering my questions for me.
Working in BAM Records at the time and that lot, and obviously I saw his
impeccable.
Yeah, I saw his talent obviously a long time ago, because he used to sell music to me and stuff like that. And when this is before Latest Edition, when we decided to start DJing together and that lot, I wasn't the person that bought a lot of reggae music, and I thought that it'd be good to have him and have a younger person in the sound as well. And I said to him, what's your DJ name? And he said Super, and I was sitting down, and we can't. You can't use that. Coming out with your cape on and stuff like that. That's not really going to work. So I said to him, what area are you from? I said to him, what area are you from? And he said, he's from East London. So I said to him, Eastender. That's exactly what happened.
Do you know what's so funny?
You got to pay gratitude. You should be on your knees.
I always do.
He has.
You always do?
I always do.
Yeah.
But you never told me that story. Did he?
It's not for you.
No, he never told us that story.
What's your version of it? Is that?
It's exactly.
That's exactly what happened.
But you didn't.
You didn't say that.
You didn't ask that question.
Did you tell him?
You did not say that at all. How did you get your name? Super Kid.
Oh, Super Kid.
And what was the question you just asked him?
Oh yeah.
You see?
All right.
I don't know about Super Kid, but
okay.
Eastenders is named that.
Well, I'm thankful that you actually did that because, you know.
Legs again, and you never corrected me.
Oh, you thought I gave him the name Super Kid?
I've asked him that before, and he's never corrected me.
Well, there you go.
Okay,
I told you that.
Do you reckon he could have made it as Super Kid, being called Super Kid on the scene?
I don't know if it would have worked.
Right.
I mean, if you look at him now, how old he is and stuff like that.
Superman, isn't it?
But mind you, sometimes you get a name and it sticks with you, and people just get used to it because Legs is a funny name when you think about it. Legs, well, you know, people always ask, where'd you get that name from? And that lot. And the thing about it is that you hear it so many times now, you just get used to it. So, in the
How
end,
did you get that name?
being from the area that I'm from, West London, originally from West London, everybody had nicknames. Nobody ever used their proper name on the streets. Them times when you was going out, you just didn't.
Shifty.
No, not at all. You just didn't. And there was two names that I was about 14, 15 at the time. There was two names. I think there was Aaron, and I thought, no, not Aaron boy. Man ain't using that name on me. And then there was Legs, and Legs is just a name that just came because I'm quite tall as well. And you know, I used to do martial arts as well years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Done that for a little while. So that's how the name Legs came about.
See, you always find out something new. You see what I'm saying? You didn't know that about him. And him.
What did you get your name, by the way?
Yeah, Sweet Vibes, actually.
Yeah. Sweet Vibes.
It's not my turn.
Sweet.
It's not my turn.
Sweet Vibes.
Legs.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's make it hold.
While you're on the subject of names, do you know my original name was actually called Brinks? And a similar thing, I got named that when I was in Supertone Records, and it was it Jockey Maro? You don't want to be called. You don't want to be called. You don't want to be called in Brinks because people are going to want to come and rob you, and the ladies are going to just want to be interested in money. So they said, Reggie Style upon style, and Reggie Styles.
Then I fully don't remember you in the record shop.
Yeah, Supertone.
Yeah, I used to go there, but I don't remember you. I used to go there every now and then. I don't remember
Saturdays,
you in there.
and then sometimes in the week.
Okay,
I was there as well, quite a lot.
Okay.
Sound system and stuff.
Supertone Records,
Yeah.
Legs, one question I want to ask you. This week, me and Eastender went out to Jazz Cafe and we saw Desi in concert.
Yeah.
And out of all her tunes she had, 2 tunes took the night away.
In the morning, would be, I'd imagine.
And Thinking of You.
Yeah, of course.
Actually took the night away. We were having this conversation because 2 things. One, because the artist and Eastender enlightened me that the artist probably didn't know that those 2 tunes were so big over here.
Yeah.
Like they don't, because we break a lot of tunes
Yeah.
that the artists do not know in America that are big.
Yeah.
And I don't think she wanted to perform them, or she was
Really?
iffy about performing them. Yeah, because
Yeah, I can
she
imagine.
wouldn't.
She wasn't aware that.
She wasn't
Yeah,
aware.
so
but
popular.
you would, but you would know that yourself, you know, by when you give them their playlist when you've done your things.
Yes,
as well,
it's a situation
and
that
they
arises
get
quite
very
often.
surprised, don't they?
They
I'd
do,
imagine.
yes.
Yeah.
And some of them think, well, what do you know? Kind of thing. As a promoter, like, what do you know?
Because in America it might be a much bigger tune set.
Well, that might not be the tunes. It might be other tunes.
Other single tracks.
So those are tunes that we've hammered.
Yeah.
And those tunes that came out in early 2000.
Yeah.
2010, about 10 years ago.
Both of them.
2000.
What's on the same album?
They're on the same album, yeah.
Lost and Found.
Forget that.
2009.
So we've hammered that in and out of blues dances, in and out of clubs, in and out of radio stations, in and out of anywhere else that you can think of. Those, going back to the top 100 tunes that was brought up earlier on last year, would these artists really get that love over here if it weren't for us hammering so-called top 100 tunes?
Is there just our scene? I mean, you're saying it like there's only one scene. There's like, it's wider than that, isn't it, really? I mean, you know.
So what other scenes would you say as well as ours?
Well, the scene that, like, Reggie's on a slightly different scene to what we're on.
Yeah, but our scene more or less champions those
they
music.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't
Do you
play
play
that
those
shit.
songs? You
They
play those
very-
2 songs?
On that scene, you probably hear from their particular DJs. You probably hear some screwed up housey mix of a record like that, or some house DJs just nick the vocals and put it on some electrified beat. Slow jam wise, you wouldn't
Really?
DJs wouldn't draw for that record.
Yeah. I mean,
No way. They might play Usher and maybe play Jodeci when it was acceptable, or R. Kelly Ignition.
Yeah, when it was acceptable.
Yeah. Or Trey Songz, Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
But Those particular Legacy records?
Yeah.
They belong to the streets, don't they?
Yeah.
You guys, you know, I don't want to answer the question.
No, I feel like I'm in a bit of a bubble because I don't really go out anywhere else, so I don't want to claim anything really.
No, claim it, man. We do.
Right.
We do that. We claim
Do
it.
you know what I'm saying?
No, you gotta
but
celebrate
in my opinion,
what you do.
we do. A lot of those artists wouldn't have got through if it wasn't for us.
Nah,
But they don't really know that, apart from probably when they come over and they get booked and then they're told what to do or what songs to sing and stuff like that.
Yeah, but now with internet as well, I mean, would you send the messages directly to somebody like the DC?
No. I always think that, I mean, a couple of times I've thought about it, but then no, not
Right,
really.
okay.
I think that they're probably not going to take much notice of, unless they know who you are and that, like, they're going to just look at you as a fan and not really
Can I just say
embrace
before
whatever.
while we're on the subject, and she corrected everyone the other day, her name is not pronounced Ledisi, it's pronounced Legacy.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So can we use the word, can we say Legacy?
All right, from now on, Legacy.
Legacy.
Joe Public won't know what we're talking about. They're the ones that come and answer. So we've got
DC,
like,
yeah,
It's
Legacy.
Legacy.
Okay.
Legacy, it's Legacy.
Okay.
So those top 100 tunes.
Yeah.
What do you feel about top 100 tunes? Is it something that you incorporate into your playlist on a Friday or Saturday night?
I do. I mean, when you're DJing, it's never ever about just you, because I've seen some DJs that play music that they like, and they're not like entertaining the crowd. The crowd dictate to us in partly what we play, and we've got to obviously do the rest of ourselves and stuff like that.
It's
as
funny
well.
that, because when you think of Rare Groove,
Yeah.
and speak for yourself, because
Yeah.
obviously you're one of the key factors in the Rare Groove DJ scene. A lot of the records that you play at the time,
Yeah.
the audience didn't know those songs.
That's right.
They were your records that you believed they
Yeah.
would like.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the kind of...
It was different times then. A lot of the people that went out, again, dictated that we play tunes that they didn't know. And the thing is, as well, when you played the tunes at the times and that lot, they raved to it.
Yeah.
If you play something now that people don't know, people will stand up or go to the bar.
So the times have changed.
Times have definitely changed, definitely. Because I would love to go out, I've got lots and lots of music, I would love to go out and just do a set of tunes that people don't know, but people would be standing up looking at you. So don't
And
fully,
you were playing...
don't fully blame us for the way the scene is at the moment. And what hasn't helped as well, sorry to cut you, what hasn't helped as well is I think some of the new DJs kind of copy a lot of what other DJs do. And
Yes.
you can't blame, you can't say, oh, it's because of you why it's like that. I mean, you know, why don't you build your thing
Your
kind of thing?
own, your own set list,
Yeah.
your own...
Yeah, but it's hard, you know. It's difficult. It's stressful
Not
for a new
that gets
DJ.
paid 680
For-
pounds, it's not hard.
Trust me,
You
mate.
think it's difficult?
Trust me, mate. It's difficult to on the subject of actually introducing new music in your DJ set and taking that risk as a new DJ in a club or on a promoter's bill. And
You think it's hard?
Yeah, because you're coming in there and you're going to try and break records to an audience that I'll say 70-80% of people don't know who you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
Reggie, but okay, if I agree with that, I would say that 90% of DJs think they're on the same level as every other DJ. And so there we have a problem then, don't we? Because
I don't. I think
personally think that 10 or the 20% of sounds that are on that different level, and there are levels to it, I don't care what any DJ or sounds or promoters what to say, there are levels to the business. If you're at that top level, then you can break tunes. You know how to fit in a tune
That's right.
to break a tune, so you take them chances. You understand? I would have had to be taking chances when I played with these guys, because there's no way that I could have been playing their own tunes back to them.
Back to them, that's
You know
right.
what I mean? And that's one of the things that we
Yeah.
didn't do. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand in front of Legs and play one of the tunes that he was breaking
Yeah, but
or he had played like the week before.
You know what?
I wouldn't do that.
That's a fantastic point, because there's another thing as well that I kind of, I wouldn't say don't like, but I kind of just
you
have to
don't
shake my
like,
head a little bit. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, and you know this as well.
Yeah.
I hate when, like, this is why we sound the same a lot of the times, because I will go into a dance and I will do my set a certain way, and if the crowd appreciates it, what happens sometimes is that another DJ who's on the bill will go and do that exact same set.
The next
about that on the
week,
first podcast.
He won't even think, well, how can I? Because I would never do that. I would never change it. How can I change it? And for me as well, if I played with you like the week before and you played like a certain set of tunes and whatever, and you're there, my pride says I'm not going to do exactly what
That's
you're
right.
going to do. I'm going to try and find my own way of doing
That's
it.
right.
That's a bit
I
of
think
a
that's
problem.
when you. That's when you come back and you say there's levels to it.
Yeah.
Because the levels that you're saying, the
Yeah.
high levels, we just wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do
Yeah.
the low level ones. Oh, I like
But this
that.
is
I'm
why-
gonna buy it.
And they think people think they're going to get on by doing what we do.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why. The reason why I might have played a certain tune is because I know certain people who are in the dance. Do you
Yes.
understand? So I know how to entertain my crowd or whatever. So that's why. But then you can't. Another DJ can't come along and just do what you've done because then people are not there.
Yeah.
And then they think, well, how come I'm not getting the same
reaction, the same response.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't go out week in, week out anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
But when I did, I used to study all the DJs, and I can tell the ones like who would play a set last week and who would copy him from the week before. So it's true what you're saying there, and I think that a lot of DJs, if you are doing that, you should stop doing it.
Yeah.
So, as a king, was in the subject of DJs,
Oh, no.
as being the king of soul,
No,
rare groove, in my eyes, you're one of the kings.
I'm not.
Yeah,
He's
all
one
right.
of the kings.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I mean, you don't want to say that, but he is one of the kings.
Honestly, I'm not.
Who would you rate as a DJ
Every single
out
DJ.
there? Like, who would you listen
I
to when you
like,
go?
I
"Oh my
like all
God."
DJs, even DJs that don't play like very well will do something. No, they'll do
What's that
something.
politician answer?
No, it isn't politics. I even heard you say this as well. You'll go out and hear somebody do a set, and you might not like the set, but they might play a couple of tunes that you can fit into your set, into your repertoire.
So who's that person then? Give me some names.
that will do that.
Give me your top 5.
Give me some
That's
names.
that's what you want, isn't it?
I'm not
Top
gonna
five
give.
over
I'm
30
not gonna give
years.
a fuck.
Over 30 years. Give it to your top
You
Well,
five.
got-
I like all DJs. It's hard.
Top five,
If you'd
top
asked me that
five.
before, I'd have had to think about it. I love
In
Desi-
no particular order.
I love Desi G
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
He's one of the ones.
Top 5 DJs.
Ah, come on, don't put pressure on him. He
Exactly.
said he likes them all.
Shall we give him a minute until the end of the show?
Yeah.
And then we come back and
All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
so we
he said he
can-
likes
You can
them
think.
all.
You can think.
So like,
Too many.
Just you're not too bad.
We're not too bad.
No,
But yeah.
no.
So there's nobody else.
Robert, when he was here, was
Robert
one of my
Allen,
favourite-
yeah, Robert Allen.
Robert Allen was
yeah,
one of my favourite
yeah,
DJs
he
as
is,
well.
definitely.
So you're actually putting me on the spot. It's difficult.
You've got two more. You've got
got two more.
you've got two
We'll
more,
come back to that.
but
Yeah,
we'll come back to that.
Oh, right, okay.
When we talk about DJs that have changed the game, you definitely changed the game. You might not, and like again, they're like you're surprised. I don't know why you're surprised.
No, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what it
You
is?
did change it.
No, honestly, this is the honest to God truth. I try not to think about it too much because I think that your ego can get the best of you if you do. That's one thing I've learned over the years and that lot.
Well, this is where your
Don't-
ego goes out the window.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is where we champion success. So when we talk to you about changing the game, latest edition. So let's just name some of latest edition. Some of the people who come through latest edition.
Yeah.
This character here, Mr. Eastenders.
Yeah. Original member.
I remember he didn't make it into the elite DJ list, but
He did.
but
He was
hold on a
there.
minute. But hold on a minute. He is the probably number one from our scene
Yeah.
concert promoter, and a
Definitely.
guy who's brought a lot of artists, and he's given me a lot of my dub plates as well. So I won't think.
And he knows the business as
and
well. He studied the business.
He has with Rare Groove Legends. He has got the top promoter with you because you're the other half of
I'm the other-
Rare Groove
Legends.
I am.
Number one promoters in our scene because I don't think there's anybody else that's got the type of numbers that you lot have over the year. Yeah, people have good dances. Don't get me wrong, but you lot do it consistently 3 or 4 times a year over the last 4 or 5 years. So
It's less than that.
less than that, 3, 4 years at least.
Yeah.
Must be at least.
Yeah.
So you've
Well, number 7's on 20th of April.
right. So you've contributed to that Rare Groove revival that was started, and a lot of people have championed. Like Eternity had their Rare Groove Cup clash going on, and then you guys came with it.
And there's We Love Rare Groove
Yeah,
as well,
We
I've
Love
done
Rare
the
Groove
thing.
as well, right?
Yeah.
So he's gone on. So you gave him a platform,
Yeah.
and he's not done too badly out of that latest
He was
edition
always
platform.
going to do well, though, to be perfectly honest. He's always had that head on him.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Look, you like that? Look.
No, he has.
Yeah, look at him, he's blushing.
He has.
Desi G Barry White.
Yeah.
You gave them a.
I didn't give them.
No one's going to say, listen, let me just clear it up, because I know people are going to say, but exactly what you're going to say there. I'm not saying that, but they were your platform. At that time, you gave them a platform again to showcase their skills, and they still went on to be bigger And people might say better things.
They were always big. They were always big.
And Desi G Barry was in Touch of Class.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that, and it was in High Tension before that, you know what I mean? And they was in some rubber dub sound. When we get before that. So I'm not saying at all that they wouldn't have ever made it to the top.
They were big. They were always going to be big.
They were a special talent, but Latest Edition still gave them a platform in that late 80s. That, come on, let's be fair. That late 80s raving, that was some of the best dances the circuit, the times ever had. It was some of the best times. And I think that's not to take away to the work and the contribution that people put in before. You know, those kind of dances happened. You know what I mean? But everything has that, you know, that curve and it peaks and whatever else. So you gave them a platform. And
it was only for a few years, but
But you gave them a platform, and we're going to ask you how you did that anyway. Jazzy J.
Yeah, he was with Mystery, Ladies' Choice. Yeah.
And you gave Jazzy D a platform as well?
That was very brief. I'll be honest. I'm being honest. I'm a very difficult person to work with. MC, it wasn't for very long. It was less than a year.
Okay, so you gave DJ Emai a platform. He's been with you.
He's still around.
He's still around.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still around.
Well, he turns up there.
Anyway. Same thing as Hollywood Selector. Anybody else that you had on your set?
No, I mean, people have. I had this other Bollinger was around for a little while. He was with Ratty. I had him for a short period of time as well. But I'm very difficult to work with. Apparently.
But what I would say is that when you first got your super sound together, and so the super sound, the first set was everybody I mentioned apart from Jazzy D and Emai and Bollinger. So everybody else came into that sound at that. How did you?
Bollinger was never in the sound. He just used to work with me.
Okay, all right. Okay. But put those guys to one side. How did you go about thinking? Right, I'm going to do a sound where I'm going to be a selector. I'm going to get in Desi and Barry, mic man. I'm going to get in Jazzy to be another mic man, and I'm going to get in Super Kid, aka Eastender, to do the reggae. How did you go about thinking to put that all together?
It was easy. At the time, Jazzy and Eastender, we was already a sound. We didn't have a name, but we was already playing out. We was playing out before. We was playing out before then.
As what?
We didn't have a name. But we was doing a couple of things and whatever.
Those house parties.
Because Jazzy J had already left Mystery. Mystery wasn't really using it because obviously he was like doing what he was doing, so he kind of went solo. And what happened was, Big G, we were promoters, and we was promoting. We was doing. I don't know if people used to know Continental Wine Bar. We was doing Continental
Wine Bar.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
Right. So me and G came to my house. We were sitting down, and at that time, Barry was on holiday for a little while.
Barry Bam.
No. Barry White was on holiday. Barry White was on holiday.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a big record collector. I've been to America and done lots and lots of stuff and stuff, whatever. And I used to move with Desi at that time and that lot. And I sat down with Big G, and he said, "Wouldn't it be, a fantastic thing if you lot was to get together?" Because me and Desi was close anyway. And I said to him, "I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Desi and Barry are going to be interested in anything like that because at that time they'd left Touch of Class and whatever." And I put it to Desi, and Desi was like, "Yeah, I'll kind of be interested." And then we went to see Barry and spoke about it.
That was in 1980 what?
89?
Yeah, around about that time. Yeah, 1989. And then. Yeah, then I think I came and I spoke to Eastender about it as well, so I didn't want to leave him out, obviously. You know what I mean?
In between making the tea runs.
And that's how it started.
That was Latest Edition.
And the thing is, I was a promoter before I started doing anything like DJing, but I always wanted to be a DJ.
Do you know what's fantastic about these moments? So I do material on remote. When you're telling your story, I actually remember now those conversations happening because when you're a DJ up and coming in the scene, you hear these talks, but sometimes they just you
forget about it.
Yeah, you just forget about it and it goes. And it's only when he's doing it now, like the memory recall comes back, and you remember the kind of whispers that you used to hear.
I played with you as well before. Even before that. No, I played Bigger, had a sound, and Imperial Don.
What sound
Is it
was it?
Imperial Don? Didn't even have a name. Imperial Don.
Imperial Don.
He went there.
We're talking
Was that before Fifth Avenue?
Names that stick. There you go.
That was in what, 1986, 87 we played
Yeah,
together?
round about that time. Round about that
You guys are
time.
old.
No, he was about 10 or something like that at the time. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's amazing times, definitely.
It was. So when you, so as
Yes,
I
I was a
say,
promoter in that lot. So it was,
so before you get to promoting, so
Yeah.
you put the sound together,
yeah.
you missed that one person. Or was he later? When did Barry Bam become part of Lacey? Because he was your manager at one point.
Yeah, he was around.
Was that later or was
It
that?
was later because G was the manager,
G
and,
was-
and then we sacked him. No, we didn't sack him. I mean, what happened was G was originally managing Such a Class. Actually, he was their manager.
That's
Around
right,
about the time when
yeah.
Tarek was managing Mystery and that lot.
Oh wow.
And I can't remember exactly what happened, but for whatever reason, anyway, G wasn't around.
He got his elbow.
He didn't.
And I've got to say, G was one of the nicest person around.
Fairest.
Fairest,
Yeah,
nicest,
yes,
and he
yes.
really looked after me because I think I was like 17 years old.
Yeah.
I was in Woodford at 6 at the time.
Yeah.
We was travelling to Stonebridge, Harlesden,
Everywhere.
all over, and
We was at International Sound.
he would come and pick me up, and after the dance he would drop me home. It was
Yeah.
like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah.
He would drop me. I never forget those things. So, you know,
Well,
while we're
Big
here,
G.
shout out to Big G.
Yeah.
You know what? I was interested because you say at that time, and it's really interesting that you had managers at that time looking after your sound systems. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, it was
I mean,
needed. It was
yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
So was that manager or enforcer to stop you guys from getting robbed or?
No.
Oh right, okay then.
Looking
All
after the
right.
books.
Ocelot.
There were gangsters there.
No. I mean, there was those guys from
So
Brixton.
what was the? I'm interested to see, like for instance, the difference between a manager for, say, an artist nowadays,
Yeah.
and the role and duties compared to the street sound.
No, he just basically he took the bookings. He had a shop,
Right. Okay.
and he took the bookings.
Yeah,
People, anybody wanted to book. Them times, there was no mobile phones around really.
That's right,
So you had to
yeah.
ring the shop
Yes.
to book
Yeah.
the sound.
So just came
And,
across
and, we, and
professional.
I used to go to the shop all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eastenders in there.
He had a business.
And so
head.
we,
He had a business head on, didn't he? Barry?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we was just like DJs.
Was that the car phone? He had a, not car phone,
No.
he had a mobile shop, didn't he?
That's
Right?
Big G.
Big G.
Big G
did.
had the
G did,
mobile.
yeah.
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 Barry had the record
Yeah.
shop.
Record shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I think we was playing out
Yeah.
5 days a week.
5
Yeah.
days a week?
Wow.
He's playing
Give
out
me some
a
of the
lot.
places that you used to play. Do you remember? Go on. Start off.
Yeah. Monday.
As well as all the blues dances now. Like, I can't remember the name.
There's so
There was
many.
a place down in West London that we used to do. I can't remember the name of it. Near,
If you remember
near
the name of
Paddington.
it,
I
please
can't remember
comment.
it.
Yeah.
In Paddington, I can't remember the name of it. I think this was just coming up round about then as well.
Student Express, no way.
Well, it's not a club.
The old Student Express.
It's not-
Yeah, the
Well,
original
the
Student
The
Express.
original Student
It's not a
Express.
basement club, is it? Where you go
Yeah,
downstairs.
so
No,
many-
I can't
Right,
even
okay.
remember.
Don't you?
I can't
What, the
remember.
Albernite? What, you don't remember these clubs that used to play in there?
We were just.
So wine bars.
Obviously
it
the
was
gigs
like-
were-
it was
we were
all-
just so
it was
busy,
just so-
man.
we were so busy.
And you know what's good about our sound as well? When I kind of think about why we got so popular as well, is because like Eastenders from East London, I'm originally from West London, and I know a lot of people from West London, and Desi and Barry from South London, and so we were never ever.
Playing to an empty
Yeah,
audience.
and we were never like a sound. We never ever like stayed in one area. We played everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even like now, we get love in like East London.
And there
West
ain't many
London,
sounds that
North
do
London.
that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Even on the circuit to this
Yeah.
day. I mean, they're
Yeah.
either okay in East London, but they can't really go to
but
West
like,
London.
Their crowd don't
or-
travel and stuff
yeah.
like that. Now, I've never had that because I'm South London and West London, so and I know a lot of people. So and I was a promoter as well at that time. And I still do a little bit now.
So how did you juggle the rankings, or was there a ranking? So when you lot went to a dance, and obviously
Yeah.
you got there's 3 big selectors in this
Yeah.
dance. So how did you say, well, you're going to play, or I'm going to play, or whose turn it is, or what, how did you sort? And club booking must have been worse because it would have been one spin for the night, as in 1 45-minute or an hour for the night. It
No,
would have been an hour.
No, you'd
we'd
pay all night.
sometimes
split,
share the
though,
set. Yeah, we'd share the
split,
set.
right.
We'd share the set. We'd just negotiate with each other, kind of thing.
Well, who's
basically.
got the ear in at that time?
Yeah, I mean,
it was mainly Legs and Desi were the 2
Yeah.
main selectors. I used to just sit on the record box
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and study. and learn the game.
And wait his turn
and wait my turn,
jump on.
especially in the blues dance.
And take numbers.
No numbers.
Okay.
It was only music them days.
Yeah.
I used to sit on top of the record box and I was like watching all the selectors, not just one. Yeah. You can do it as much as you like. I watched all the selectors, and I learned so much from it.
No, but you contributed a lot.
No,
as well.
I did, but
because when I used to go to the record shop, you used to always say legs.
Well,
this
that's
album, this album, this album.
Sitting on the
good thing
record-
about him being in the record shop is that he
He knew the latest.
Yeah, he did.
And
And because he knows music and that lot,
And-
he just made it a lot easier. He'd put things down for me and Desi to decide to come and pick up and say.
And the beauty of sitting on the record box was I also knew what to sell to the general
Yeah,
public.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's
Was you
kind
surprised at his musical
Pistol.
knowledge?
No, because he was in the record shop. I met him in the record shop, and I'd spoken to him. And when somebody knows about music, that's easily picked up, isn't it? If you can have a conversation with somebody about anything, if somebody said they know about cars, and you know about cars, you'll have a conversation with them, and you can tell whether they're bluffing or not. Do you understand? So yeah, his musical knowledge was that's why I said to him, "Come."
And you know what? It sounds to me like you guys had the perfect business model because
At the time,
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
all the locations on
Yeah.
point. You had the music, which is the key important thing.
Yeah.
You had the personalities.
Yeah, we did.
The MCs.
Oh, the MC
Everything.
was deadly. That's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Can I just say, and just for the record, Barry White, I don't know, he really ties with Tony Nicks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like coming up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did like 76 as well.
Yeah.
A lot. But those two was more throughout my
Yeah.
They
They dominated the blues dancing for years.
Do you know what sticks in my mind about those two guys? And when Barry comes on. Do you remember, sorry, I've got to just do this.
Yeah.
They used to have the mic, right? Can you hold my hand, please? A minute, please. No, that's all. No, that one there. That one there. Tony Nicks and Barry White. Barry White would not let go of the mic. So you'd see them in the dance going. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Brotherly love.
It was like that. It was like that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And Jazzy J again. He was the first Sing J.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You know, our Drake. Like people laugh when I say that.
Yeah.
but He was.
He
Wasn't
was. Yeah. He was. He was a bit more bashy, I would say.
yeah.
So the good thing with him is that if we played a bit of reggae or something like that, he would be able
loved
to.
that,
Yeah,
didn't he?
he'd be able to talk to the people in that. We had a lot of yardies come to the dance at that time as
And-
well.
yes.
Yeah.
For the
so-
benefit of people, when you say Sing J, in the street scene, like you know.
You ready for your cameo role? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I thought you would give us an example because you used to be a white man.
I just did Drake.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
Drake
I think
Sing J.
Drake's.
He's trying to get at you.
I know you, but he's not gonna. You're not. This is not.
I've never heard him sing.
This
That's
is
what
not
you're
your Creed
asking.
moment.
Did he used to sing? No, he never used to sing. Never didn't used to sing. He
Thank
didn't.
you. I never. I'm not giving you
He used to
that.
shout
He's
on
a
the
he's a
mic.
good mic man, though.
Okay, exactly. So
Yeah,
he
makes
must be able to give us
No.
a rendition for the
No,
benefit
he
of
was-
somebody
he
who
was
doesn't
good mic
understand
man.
about the street.
And do you know what he
culture.
still is? He still is. I don't think he
Okay.
realises how good he is, but he's very good.
Oh, he does.
Does he?
I don't really do it again though.
I think, do you know what the thing is with him? I think that he prefers when Hollywood's there.
Oh, no, it's understandable why.
Yeah,
You
but he
said
can
that-
do. He can do a
You
very
said
good
that it was
job.
difficult to work with. So,
Yeah.
from whilst we're on the MCing side of
Yeah.
things, like, what did you find most annoying with those particular MCs at the time, or did you give them guidance, or did you used to be like, shut up,
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna play this. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think,
Yeah,
I think when you're an MC,
Yeah.
concentrate on the crowd. Stop making jokes about a few people who are in the corner. I mean, you can do that in a blues
They were
dance.
funny,
that lot,
innit?
but
Yeah,
when
blues
you,
dance is
you can do it in a
different,
blues
yeah.
dance. But when you're in a big hall where there's like 1,800 people in that lot, and you're making jokes in the corner about a couple of people in that lot, the rest of the people in there, what's he talking about? People come out to enjoy themselves in that lot. And the other thing is as well, when you're DJing on the mic, stop DJing over the singing part of the record.
Oh dear.
I mean, please.
Yeah, but respect the artist. Yeah,
yeah.
respect the artist.
The
DJ
beginning of the record,
You know this.
and when there's a break, you do that. But don't. People, people that go out singing, and then the MC's DJing.
And our MCs do that. Hollywood's
I
done it.
hate that.
Hollywood's done it.
Yeah.
Ali makes me laugh because when Dodd does it now, Ali puts in the noise
Yeah.
box. Respect the artist, man. Respect the artist. Why do you DJs always do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're supposed to know.
I just don't like that.
I don't get it. Wait for your break and there's an instrumental piece.
Yeah.
Then do your thing again.
Yeah. So do you reckon that the fact that you had that great synergy between your MCs is what added to you guys' success?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
I would say definitely.
Did you used to have meetings? Because I remember, like, every time I used to DJ with Reds, I would mostly do a lot of the miking, and Reds would DJ first, and then I would play afterwards. So we used to sit down in the hotel and say, right, we're going to plan certain things. Did you guys ever plan a dance?
I think, to be honest, me and Desi, we used to go out looking, we used to go looking for music, and so we would talk about.
I'll tell you what they used to do. Okay. They used to have their meetings where they talk about the next sound that they were playing, depending on how they rated that sound, is how they were looking smiling, you know. They'd have the conversation about what type of tunes and how they're going to play the sound. They did used to.
I think that goes, that goes for any Saturday night, I reckon.
Yeah, but
so give us some insight, like, on what you used to talk about, because I'm fascinated to hear.
So, say if you was playing...
A sound that we played that was really, that had music, that could definitely test us was Just Good Friends.
Right.
And that lot. But what they didn't have over us was MCing.
Yeah, because Tony P was
so I'm not going to lie. to Barry and Jazzy, when we're doing our set, let them do their set. Don't jump on the mic and enhance what they're doing.
That was a strategy.
Right, Let us enhance what we're doing, because they've got slight advantage over us and that lot. And that's what we done.
Right, okay.
And with every sound we played with, we did have a little bit of a strategy. We'd talk amongst each other and stuff like that. And definitely made sure we had music as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was like the most important thing. So yeah, that's one thing that...
I'm just interested, because like, you know.
When we talk about that era, that golden time, you were, I don't know, you're responsible for breaking a lot of tunes, and I'm going to say, I can hear them already. Listen, there's a difference between breaking tunes and playing tunes first. Yeah, which people often get confused.
This is the difficult one.
Yeah? You can play a tune first, it doesn't actually mean you break it. Yeah. Breaking it is where the crowd get so accustomed to it that it almost comes a karaoke kind of tune because they know it verse for verse and everything else. Yeah. You're responsible for breaking a lot of those tunes at that time.
You know, I've thought about this. I mean, but I mean, a lot of the tunes I've got them. Where did I get them from? I got them from, I don't know, record dealers and stuff like that. I'm sure they didn't only sell to me. I mean, I had a conversation the other day actually with. I'm not actually going to say his name, but with a fellow DJ. You know, like when Tony P was in, he said there's certain tunes he played, and there's one particular DJ said to me, no, he didn't play that tune first. But the thing is, for me, I did hear him play it first. I personally heard him play it first, but then maybe that person had the tune before them, and they're from,
that's the difference.
That DJ's from East London, by the way.
But that's the difference between playing it first and breaking tunes. And this is what I'm saying. When you have the right formula, and at that moment in time, apart from Touch of Class, and apart from Mystery, who were, and I'm talking about.
I wouldn't say Mystery was a fantastic entertainer. I wouldn't really.
I'll go on to quantify what I'm saying.
Right, go on.
When you've got big personalities, it's easy for you to break tunes. Your sound was a big personality at that time because you had Barry, you had Jazzy, you had you had Desi, and you had Eastenders. So in terms of owning the dances. You know, it's like putting together a Man City. You were a Man City of the day. So when you've got that kind of talent, when you do a nutmeg, you know what I mean, or one it looks better. It looks better than when Bournemouth do it. So what I'm saying, at that time, when you were playing a lot of the tunes that Stan could have got, Victor could have got,
and probably had.
Dirty Den could have got.
I bought a lot of music from him as well.
Right, but when you guys played a lot of them tunes, you kind of owned that tune because you were so popular at the time. You know what I mean? Like people took it on and took a more affinity to that tune. So in terms of that, I'm talking about.
I mean, I bought a lot of music from Dennis. So I mean, I might say that I broke this tune, but Dennis could turn around and say, well, no, actually. I sold that to him.
Yeah, you sold it to him.
You sold it to him.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said it's difficult. Because there's a few, I mean, I bought a few tunes with me actually today.
Yeah, we're going to look at these tunes.
I think that latest edition brought a lot of records to the attention of a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, we was out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And, you know...
And that helps, doesn't it? Because you're playing out...
Oh, most definitely,
Yeah.
most definitely. And, you know, I know some people complain that, oh, yeah, but they keep playing the same records, 100 top 10, like...
Yeah.
But, you know, Brenda and Herb, what goes around comes
Yeah.
around. Like, I remember hearing that, and like, when we played it, like, they're waiting for it. The audience is waiting for us to play that song. And once that song's played, the party has started.
Yeah.
And whatever came after that, it was just like, you know, and it was just rolling. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure if I was to think about it, you know, the songs were just coming and coming and coming.
Arnold Blair and all them tunes and Leroy Hudson and whatever. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Peebles.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's so many. There's so many.
Yeah.
That, you know, I reckon that, you know, we made popular to the audience. You know, she said we didn't break it, we didn't play it first, we didn't do this.
Yeah, but we made
that,
it popular.
But we made it popular because we was one of the most popular sounds on the circuit at that time.
How hard was it for... I mean, you're talking about... When I'm talking about collectors, people's got to understand that I'm sitting next to definitely a list of collectors when I talk about acquiring tunes of rare groove culture.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to break rare groove tunes at that time?
It wasn't difficult at all, really. I mean, you've got to believe in yourself and believe in the tune. You have to like the tune a lot. I mean, I had so much music at that time. I was going record tape exchange. Before this rare groove thing blew up, I bought a lot of old music anyway. I've always liked soul music from the 70s and 80s anyway. I mean, even if I wasn't DJing and playing out, I would have probably 3/4 of the collection that I've got now, because I've always bought music. Getting music was not difficult at all, really, because I knew a lot of record dealers, DJs and people that, you know...
For you, so the top...
It was easy. And Eastenders was there to make sure that anything that came through the shop, he'd get hit, and then he'd say, and he'd make sure he'd save it for us as well.
So that Premier League of DJs at that time,
yeah.
How hard was it for anybody else to get them tunes? So if I wasn't, well, I wouldn't have been in the Premier League at that time. So, you know, how hard would it have been for a DJ like me to get a tune that was obscure, that you lot was covering up the label?
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? After a while of playing something from that lot, we would get it and sell it, because I sold music to BAM Records as well.
You sold music to me.
I know, but I used to. I mean, I've been to America, but I've been at the motorway and stuff like that. So if I got a tune and it was really popular and it broke in the dance that lot, before anything else, I would go and get myself as many copies as possible, and then I'd bring them to the shop, and then you could get them. You would be able to acquire them. The good thing about that is that we did used to. I would never keep something for myself completely. I'd try and get as much as I can, because I could make money from it, and then I would sell it to everyone. Everybody would want it. You know, so...
You say you go up and down the motorway with your music.
Yeah.
Was there a similar demand? Because obviously the London street sound scene is the London street sound scene, and you've got similar types in Huddersfield, Manchester, places like that. Are those the type of DJs you used to influence with the music, or did they...
No, I just went to those places to go and buy the music.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because there was record shops in...
Because they had them in there, but they didn't know the London scene.
Yeah,
so
and it was the opposite, because
that's right.
the Northerns, they were more into the Northern Soul sorts of stuff. And we were into the more soulful.
Wasn't
so
it?
you'd go up there and you'd find albums up there like cheaper.
£2
exactly. A lot cheaper than, you know, what you might get it for in London. So after a while, I mean, you had to travel to go and get them tunes, and that's what I did.
That was another key ingredient that made...
That was, you know what, actually, successful. I mean, DJing was my full-time job.
Right.
I mean, obviously I had children at the time, and Desi as well. We'd get up in the morning, and we would go and look for music. We'd go to all the record shops, spin all the record shops, you know, and get back, you know, pick up the kids, take them, you know, to take them home. That was a full-time job for me.
Wow. So you put in the work properly.
Oh, right. Definitely. And then you're looking for the next tune to break in the dance anyway. I mean, there was competition between, like, you know, Eastender, myself and Desi, even within the sound. But friendly competition. I mean, we didn't hide things from each other, but I'd have something and I'd play it, and then I'd show them, whatever. Oh, wow, what's that, or whatever, sort of thing. And Eastender would go and, you know, buy 10 copies and put them in the shop.
But you're also responsible, we had this conversation, but you're also responsible for helping DJs who couldn't acquire those beats.
Yeah.
And I know it's a bit of subject to some.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I look at my years in the DJ business, and I look at trying to enter the DJ business, and when I looked up to the sounds that were there, and I was saying, I want to be part of this.
This is very interesting.
Of course it's going to be. And when I wanted to be part of this, it was obviously, some of it, you've got, I sound like my sound started off as a party sound, so we played everything. But I loved the rare groove. I loved hearing the brothers, I loved hearing Mystery, I loved hearing Touch God, I love Funkadelic, Rap Attack, grew up on those kind of sounds. And when you hear them playing the music, but you can't get it. So I can't afford to pay 20 or 30 pound or 40 pound at that time for one tune. And you were the first, well, you might have been the first or second, but you were definitely top 5 for getting Starview, but Body Fusion. Yeah? You was definitely...
I can tell you now that I was the second person to get it.
Second person?
Straight. Nobody can't say nothing. The first person
Stanley T.
And I got it next.
Right, okay.
End of
Story. I'll tell you who I got it from.
Let's hear it.
I'll tell you who I got it from. I was the second person to get that tune.
I'm interested to hear this.
Where'd you get it?
I got it from. Do you know Dollars, Des?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've known him before I was playing out. He used to come to my house. Him, Victor, used to come to my house before I was DJing and sold me music, because I've always been into music. And I used to go to a record shop that was in Elephant and Castle, where Terry used to work. This woman. And they had another shop in Hackney, G&M Records.
G&M.
Yeah, because I worked.
Okay.
This is before like the sound thing and that lot. I used to go to work, when I used to get the train, and I used to go into the record shop, and there was a guy that used to follow Funkadelic sound, and he used to tell me, oh, you need this, you need, and I used to buy lots and lots of cut-out tunes it was at the time. There was in the indoor market.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so you're the second person to have.
I got that from Des. He gave that to me.
Right.
He gave me that. He gave me. Actually, I was playing at a dance with Company, and I don't know if you remember Chris D, MC. He used to be in Continental Wine Bar, but it was me and him that was going over, and I got that Hunt's Determination and this other album that I'm going to probably show you later on. It's worth an absolute fortune. All at the same time. Met him in Wembley and went to the dance. And I remember when I played the tune, Roger Moore goes bootleg, and that. And I remember I took that album out like that.
Okay.
And when I played it.
So it wasn't Mystery then?
No, Mystery helped promote that tune. But what I want to get to...
It was kind of a big tune already, though.
No, it's good, yeah, but I'm saying... Yeah, but Mystery's reach was... His reach was definitely wider than anybody else.
Of course it was.
But you then did a little business deal with Daylight.
I got an offer.
Yeah, you got...
Is that what you're saying? Are you saying I got an offer?
Yeah, you got an offer. And Daylight were producing the bootlegs at the time. And the bootlegs, as we said, are Rare Groove single tracks put on a vinyl track, and it's a compilation album. All the big hits, unofficial. Yeah. So
I'm ashamed to say yes.
No, but why would you? And this is my.
No, but you know what? As a record collector, I do feel.
Hold on. This is my discussion with you, because you've said that to me, and I don't feel that it's any shame, because I'm saying at that time there were DJs like me that couldn't get hold of that tunes, that couldn't help play that tune in parties that I were playing to different audiences, in order to promote not only the tunes of Vertical, but in order to promote myself, my DJs that was DJing that time. So to me, it was a godsend. However shameful it was at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I would never play those bootlegs.
But you would need to. You would need to.
Yeah.
I needed to, and a lot of other DJs needed to play those tunes at that time in order to shine, in order to you know, to promote themselves.
Because the people wanted to hear them tunes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, it was a service well done, mate. But I know to you it was like, I shouldn't have done it, maybe.
They were on at me, but they offered me a lot of money. You know.
Have we gone past the Margaret Thatcher 30 years and you can tell us how much money it was?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to say how much it was, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
You went well there, so you like.
I mean, it wasn't even like so much about the money, but remember I was buying records from dealers, and you know, they find out that you're involved in any bootlegs and stuff like that. They're not going to want to sell you music and that.
Yeah, they won't.
But this was the thought, and this is another thing about the record companies back in the day. They didn't have a clue about promoting artists and about artists that could still sell songs, because they wasn't interested in none of these artists that we was putting on those records.
Oh yeah, for that scene, definitely not. But I will say they used to bootleg their own music, they used to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, record companies used to bootleg their own music to make it seem cool, incredible, and give it that kind of like cool, credible
like white label
thing,
type thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
We've done. I mean, I've been involved in campaigns where we've literally bootlegged a record and had to put it on a white label. They've given me a bit of money. I've gone and pressed up the record as whoever I am, and then taking it round to all the shops.
You are
and saying,
official
"Yo,
bootlegger."
this is
So you see,
so we're doing it officially, yeah. So there are some.
used to.
Some tracks that we've done, officially, we've done that from that perspective. But I believe in sharing the music. I have to say, I did have that same attitude where I thought, you know what, if you're a collector, somebody buys a record, it's your record, and you know you feel the pride in playing a tune that nobody's got and stuff.
Yeah.
And then over the years, I then started to realise, do you know what, we're doing ourselves a disservice. For our own industry by not sharing the music with, like you're saying, the new DJs.
Which doesn't happen now either.
And people like that.
That's completely stopped as well.
Internet's here, isn't it? So
I know, but people, I know a few DJs that they've got music and they will not share. They won't give it out.
Does that frustrate you? Do you get
What now?
Yeah.
From where I'm coming
with
from,
the new music that's coming out now.
Well, if they're trying to promote the artists, they need to share the music so that everybody can play, not just them.
But I don't know if they're promoting the artists.
They're
promoting themselves.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
But
so do you agree with that or not agree with that?
I think that everybody. I think we should share that. I think we should share the music amongst each other, especially if we want the scene to grow. Do you understand? You can't just. Well, you're the only person that's going to play it. It's not going to get popular if you're playing it by yourself. Number one. Sometimes people want to hear.
Got that clout again.
No, exactly. Sometimes people want to hear.
So is that the difference from latest edition, the golden era?
Yeah, we did because
we could cover it up and still break it.
We'd break it, but after a while, we wouldn't keep it forever though. We would get some.
Yeah.
Once everybody's like after it, it's a business, isn't it? At the same time, and I know what it is. You don't know what it is. I'm going to go to all the shops and get as many copies as I can, and then I'm going to sell them. And that's what I did. I'd get something, like Undercover Lover, for instance, that tune. I had loads of them.
Geraldine Hunt.
I had loads of them. I had loads of them. We played it, and we went records down in Islington.
Right.
Had them. Went in there, in out. After a while, the man didn't want to sell me no more. Then we stood outside and sent people in there to go and get them.
So there's another latest edition song that was broken by latest edition.
Yeah.
Undercover Lover.
Yeah.
Not Smooth.
No.
Geraldine Hunt.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
And that got bootlegged as well, but nothing to do with me.
No, that was your only. That was your only one. What was it? Body Fusion. Was that your only one record that you got an offer for?
Ain't gonna lie, I got that. I think it's in one of them. Is it? Remember Wind Down Zone compilations.
I've still got the original.
There's a couple of things out there.
Wind Down Zone compilations.
I've answered. There's a couple of. I've been involved in a couple of things in the past.
Like the official compilations, or
official street compilations.
Official street, compilations. I'm involved.
So there's so many firsts. So when we invite DJs to come on to set the trend, or people who've done something on the scene, we want them to not only just talk about their experience, but also to set levels, because it's easy. Well, it's not easy. You can be a DJ, but you just play records. Yeah. So that's one. But there's levels to this, and I keep, and it's hard to tell that because people think I'm throwing shade or doing that. But
people do think that when you say that.
Okay, but I'm not.
And I've heard you say it before.
But there are levels to this, because we've talked about we've gone for about 3 or 4 different levels that you've done that no other sounds have done, and some other sounds have only done a few of that. You get me?
Yeah.
So this is what marks you out from being a great sound, a 5-star general sound, to just being a sergeant major. And that's no disrespect to those sounds who fall into those categories, because some of them are very good DJs. But you've broken some things. You've broken different levels, different things. So I'm going to go into another thing that we haven't talked about yet. Yeah. So we haven't talked about. So we've talked about your super sound, first one. We've talked about some of the playing skills and some of the DJs that you had in there. Continental Wine Bar.
Yeah.
Now, this is before you even started to be a DJ.
Yeah.
Before you just loved
I was
music.
playing at parties. I was doing parties by myself. I've always been around
And then you got together. Was it with G that you got together with to do?
What happened was I went to Continental Wine Bar. There was a radio station there at that time called Touch FM. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. Jigs was on. I think Jigs on. No, Mikey MJR was on that station. Okay. That's where I first met him. Oh, okay. He used to come on before me. Who's that? He used to come on before me, and I went there to play music and that lot on there. That's at that time they had pages or whatever, so people could like ring in and stuff like that, page and stuff like that. And I just looked around and I just thought, you know what, this place is really nice, and I'd love to do something in it. And I spoke to G and I said to G, you know what, I've been to this wine bar, and I think that we should do something in there.
This is when 1980. You have to give it
86.
86. Must have been around 86.
So this is more or less at the start of the reg, startish of the reg groove.
Yeah, it was happening.
The blues dance street scene.
And I think G came down, and the guy that owned it, John, spoke to him and that lot about just doing a night in there. And I mean, it weren't going to be me. I mean, I had my music and stuff like that. But I said to, because I was living in South London obviously at that time as well, I said to G that I think that we should use. That guy's still. Yeah, well.
I think, it's not, you know what? You can tell he's a martial arts expert, isn't he?
It's not one of the bootleg authorities.
I think we should use at that time Tutter Class and Mystery. And I remember he's going to kill me for saying this. I remember I went to a dance actually to book them, and it was a blues dance, and I was in there, and dance is nice and whatever. And I remember that.
Free that quickly, so continue that story. What it is, you keep leaning this way, Reggie.
Oh, shame. It's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to the next way, so this.
All right, I'll stay. All right.
So where was we? What was we then?
Yeah.
Continentals.
Continental Wine Bar.
So if you kick off.
I went to a blues dance. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But give us another 15, 20.
Hour already.
Yeah, till it goes, isn't it?
Oh,
Goes
wow.
quick.
So you're talking to Desi.
Okay.
So
you was instrumental in Continental Wine Bar. So how did that come together with Big G?
Yeah. I spoke to him about it, and I said to him that we should do something. And the two popular sounds at the time were Mystery and Touch Class. Desi and Barry was in it. Tony Nix, Slim Tim. And I went to the house dance that they were playing at, and I spoke to them. I remember that somebody peed off Desi in the dance and whatever. I remember, and he got quite angry.
What did he run with some turntables again?
And I said to,
nothing changed.
And I said to, I remember I said to G, we better make sure we pay these guys.
His signature.
We better make sure we got our money up front. And I think the first one we done, because remember we're both from West London, innit? And we kind of helped as well. I think bring the South London and West London people together a lot as well, because we brought a lot of people from West London. We obviously knew a lot of people into South London, and we ended up running the place as well in the end.
Continental was...
What night was that? Sorry, what night was that again?
It started off on a Sunday, but we had Fridays and Mondays. Street Life was in there, Company was in there, Booker T, Street Wave was in there, played in there as well, with Lefty. Just Good Friends, Tony P, Rock to Rock. I was on there as well.
Rock to Rock,
eventually.
No, that was exactly what I was going to say. It was 4 nights a week. Continental was going on.
We was running. We'd done the Sundays, that was packed, and then we ended up doing a few other nights. We ended up running the whole place.
So how pivotal? Yeah, that's the word. Was that night to the Red Groove scene at that time?
It was very, because that's the place where everybody came, and that's where you could, for them, they used to play a lot of tunes, but a lot of tunes that they played I didn't really have. I used to record their sessions actually. They didn't know.
What that tune?
I recorded. I used to because John had a tape recorder, and he used to record, and then what he would do is play the tapes when there's nobody around, kind of thing. And I used to get the tapes, and I used to give them to Des. And Des, I want this, that, and the other, and he
had Des had them.
Des could get anything, and Bigger introduced me to Des actually. Okay. That's how I got to know Bigger. You know Rodney Bigger?
Yeah.
He introduced me to and Brendan as well. That's how I met.
These are Catford.
Yeah.
Brown Road.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? So that was another first. Yeah. So that's another level.
And then we started doing we started doing bigger dances as well.
Like Podium you just said.
Yeah. We done that. And we done a Rare Groove dance in there, similar to what Rare Groove Legends as well.
G and Legs Promotions.
And we had, how big Podium, we ran that place out.
Yeah.
We had about 1,800 people.
And this is before.
And, it was just, and this was.
And this is before Twice as Nice.
Time,
this is before Twice as Nice.
And this is the first time at that time that any of these DJs had gone into clubs, because they hadn't really played into any clubs up until then. Not playing Ray Groove and that lot. And me and G just went in there and just done that.
It's so amazing.
It's my idea though.
Yeah, it's so great that you said that, because a lot of people would be skeptical to think that you could play slow music in such a big venue and such an open space for so long, and nobody would really try to do that.
But then, you know what? And I had the same conversation with Eastenders when we started Ray Groove Legends. I was a
bit sceptical.
I was a bit sceptical. The idea was there, and we spoke about it in that lot.
He wanted to go into a club that had about 300 people.
No, I wanted to build it.
I was like,
and he said it was like, no, let's go into a big place.
Right.
And that's another level then, isn't it? So Continental Wine Bar was another level. So that's another level. Yeah,
it was. And everybody came through Continental Wine Bar. Everybody, all the Brixton lot, all the people in from West London, Stonebridge, all came through Continental Wine Bar. There was no problems, trouble, or anything like that.
So let's talk about another level then.
Yeah.
You are, and you need to clear this up. And I know you're gonna, because I know how truthful that you are. You are joint Ray Groove champion. And I'm going back to 1996, is it, Tyson Street? When they had the big
96.
95, 96, when it was Lecky, it was
Lecky's and Richie Rich's dance.
And Richie Rich's dance.
Stretch was involved as well.
And Stretch's dance.
Yeah.
For the crown of Ray Groove champion.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I asked this question to Dodd, so don't...
No, I know.
And Emai, you saw it.
I've seen it.
Now, you need to clear this up, because I don't know how latest edition can win it, and then all of a sudden there's two people who are crowned champions.
So, you know what?
Did you win it or not? Did latest edition win the night?
In my opinion...
No, in the crowd's opinion, the official referee or whatever...
Listening to the crowd, I would say we did.
So what did the referee say?
No, but I think at the time...
It was mystery, weren't it?
Myself...
Yeah.
No, myself and Dodd decided that we would...
How can you decide? Either you win or you win.
Interested in what you and Dodd decided.
No,
we're interested in what was the official decision.
It was a draw, wasn't it, I think? Or both of us. It was joint.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
He's asking the question, he knows the answer.
I know the answer, because Emai told me as well.
What did Emai say to you?
And Mystery told me.
What did they say to you?
It was, you won it, but for some reason, Mystery said, no, let's make it a draw, and whatever else carried on after.
And give the cup to Desi or something like that.
Yeah, because at the time Desi was...
Oh, right, that's right, yeah.
Now...
That sounds about right.
So so let's get the facts right. So you won it.
It's a joint thing.
Oh my God!
You know the answer to that.
He's not taking that one.
Too humble, man.
Well, then if you know the answer,
but the viewers want to know the answer to that, and they can
from
shake
your
lit.
perspective.
In my opinion, if you were there, share, like, and comment.
I'm giving you my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that we did.
And what was the crowd? So what was the official referee's decision?
It ended up being a draw.
Did he call it a draw?
Do you know, honestly...
See, he didn't call it a draw.
I can't remember.
It was...
Politician.
This was Mystery in his Nelson Mandela moment, right?
Yeah.
He had to say, no, let's share, we can all be friends.
He might have interjected and said, let's whatever.
But you lot won it. So why, I don't understand, so was this, I don't know, was this the new caring, sharing legs at that time where you said, all right, cool, let's share that? Because I don't want it to be like that.
No, but
it didn't mean that much to you.
No, I didn't really care. Do you know what? I actually thought about this, actually. You know what? You know what my main thing was?
Yeah.
Was that the Nasty Boys didn't get past me. As far as I'm concerned, at that time, I've got much more music than you. But the thing is, G is so popular.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know what? And plus, Jazzy J was with them as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you know what? As long as I finish above them. Do you know them ones?
Yeah.
To me, it would be embarrassing. You know, I had a strategy for that as well.
What was that?
When I played, I knew what tunes they had. I battered all of their records out. When they got round, I think didn't one of them play George Howard or something like that. I emptied out their record box. When I played, and kept all my stuff that I was going to play later on. Because I knew I was going to get through the later rounds. There were a lot of people in there.
So did you and Big G talk after that?
G didn't talk to anybody after that. G walked out of the dance. Nothing respect to my soldier. Do you understand? I've grown up with him. I've known him since I was 14, but he walked out. He was upset. He was upset. A lot of people were. A lot of people were.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I heard the tape for that. I thought,
Yeah.
and that was
Special
it
Touch was in it
hilarious.
as well. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Special Touch?
I'm not sure.
I think Special Touch.
I was
in
on the
it.
band list at that time. I didn't get put on there.
Was on the band list, was there?
Again.
That's not the first.
How did you feel after that, being a Rare Groove champion? Because at that point, it was latest edition that had the crown.
Yeah,
And
but that was me and Emai. That was.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
Do you know
had the
what?
crown.
To be perfectly honest now, and I said this to Emai. I said to him that, see, when we play out after this, yeah, I don't want to even mention it.
Why not?
Because for me, we've done it, and let's just move on now.
And you still are the Rare Groove champion.
Yeah, I know, but you never. After that, you know, like if somebody wins a competition, they'll put a flight on the flyer, whatever. I'm not into all of that.
A bit shy.
Just humble.
No, do you know what? I think you do have to remain as humble as possible. I mean, that's something that I've learned.
Well, you're a
over the
martial
years.
arts expert. That's
Yeah,
probably
I mean,
why.
I don't get me wrong, I've made a lot of silly decisions and mistakes and stuff like that on the DJing thing.
Yeah, give us one.
What's that?
Give us an example of what we can avoid. One, two.
No, I said give us one, not about me.
If you've got something to say, I think you should say it. And we can clear it up. I mean, put this about. I mean, as you know, Raymond, there's a lot of politics in this game, isn't there?
There is.
Isn't there? No. He's not.
I just mentioned it. You mentioned
He
it.
still can't sleep. He can't sleep.
Let me have a look at these questions.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of politics in this game.
Oh my days.
You know what I
And a
mean?
lot of egos to
Oh my gosh.
to control.
Yeah. It's even now, isn't it, when we're doing our thing? And I don't know, I can say I've learned. And for all the up and coming DJs as well.
So even now where you're doing your Rare Groove Legends,
Yeah.
which you haven't got a top and Eastenders has.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thought we'd clear that up.
Yeah. I'm sponsored by. Yeah.
How does that now compare with 1996 or 95?
How do you mean?
Like the tunes and the environment and the noise and the way
Say it again.
How does it compare with? So in terms of the crowd now, then, you know, the interaction with the crowd to the tunes, how does it compare with 1996?
It's different, isn't it, obviously?
Because you have I think you guys should mention some of the sounds that you have on Rare Groove Legends, I think.
Are the ones that play?
Yeah, that play.
Well, Touch of Class, Mystery,
Funkadelic,
Funkadelic.
Special
Yeah,
Edition.
Funkadelic's like one of the first sounds that I ever went out and listened to that I really, really liked a lot. And I would say that I'm inspired by them a lot as well. So that's a sound that you can put in as one of my all-time favourite sounds as well.
Definitely good.
Company, Manhattan.
Yeah. Just Good Friends.
Good Friends.
We've had Trojan Roadshow on there as well. Yeah.
Groovin' Inky.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Buppy C on there?
Buppy C's
You
not,
rate him?
He's not
Buppy C's
really
not a
Rare
Rare
Groove.
Groove DJ.
He's not. You don't think he plays?
Do you know what? There's a lot of people that have got Rare Groove music, but
But
not from that era.
Okay, you don't rate.
He's not from that era.
Right,
no,
okay.
our thing, to be perfectly honest, is to use the sounds from the 80s.
Right,
There's
okay.
a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that used to go out that want to come out and hear that type of music and hear them DJs, and that's the reason why we've done it.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's nothing to do with anything else.
Fair play.
You know, I've heard.
So,
you know.
so you haven't brought no hip hop records with you today,
No.
but you have brought some of our Rare Groove records today.
Yeah.
Some of your collection. haven't
Yeah.
you? So
Just a couple.
So these are hard to get tunes.
Extremely, yeah.
Some of them are.
Yeah, like this
Okay.
one, for instance, Marty Ryder's album. It's worth about £2,000.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it the original?
it's of course.
I know it's been
I've-
I know it's been repressed recently.
I've got the Discogs thing on there if you'd like to have a
Oh,
look
no,
at
I
it.
don't want- I'm not going to check.
Okay.
Wait,
got the catalogue
so
number on
first
there.
The
print-
catalogue number's on there as well.
Ooh, okay.
The catalogue
Careful,
number.
careful, Ray.
The catalogue number's SG456.
I'm not
Which is on there.
checking. I'm
Okay.
not questioning you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
£2,000.
So,
Great group, though.
so the tunes or tune on this is
Lovely is one for me. But
Yeah.
you'd like something else on there.
I like Evil Vibrations.
Oh, right, okay.
Love that.
Yeah.
Spread
Love
the
that.
message.
Yeah, spread the message. Yeah.
Even the repress one is worth quite
quite a
bit.
lot of
Yeah.
money, yeah.
£2,000.
Yeah.
And this is an independent
Yeah,
tune.
yeah.
And as
I
I,
mean,
said,
we played a lot of independent tunes though, didn't we? And still do.
and that's
Your
one of
point.
my points, that when people talk about independent music, can you get up for some of the DJs who are playing on the circuit today?
Indeed.
They've been playing independent music for over 30 years and championing them. So right now it's up to the newer school to do that. God, we're tired.
I think some of them are. I think some of them are.
We're trying.
What tune is that one?
When I got Body Fusion, I got Hunt's Determination album, Thinking of You.
And how much is that worth?
Oh,
It's like 30, 40
yeah,
quid, not
yeah.
much.
And I got this album the same time as I got the Body Fusion album.
Heart and
Heart and Soul.
Not many
album.
people play that. Heart and Soul.
No, no,
It's better
no.
than
Money.
Only.
What track is off that album?
You're My Heart and Soul. Yeah, You're My Heart and Soul.
Bit of a little collector's one, that one is.
Yeah,
How much
Heart
is
and
this
Soul.
one cost?
700.
This is £700?
Yeah.
There's your 680 back.
A commercial tune
Cheers,
that
mate.
I helped champion
Yes.
in the dance. And that lot, I don't remember anybody playing this before me. I mean, I got this from Des was Love Me Back.
Legend.
It's quite a
Oh
popular
my
tune now.
day, yeah.
Promise me, girl, you're gonna love me back.
All of his albums as well.
And we helped champion Willie, not
Yep.
yeah,
Willie
Willie
Hutch.
Hutch,
Willie
yeah.
Hutch, didn't we?
Not
Yeah.
Sandra
He's
Fee,
got,
yeah.
Legend.
he's got,
We ain't We've got two souls in here.
Sorry.
Go.
This was sampled by Mary J. Blige, also good to me. I love this tune still.
Curtis
And that
Mayfield
lot.
is one of
Yeah.
my favourites.
And,
Just to say, this is how, this is how DJs really take it. And this is how Legs takes it. Look, do you see his
Sticker.
sticker on the side?
On there.
Yeah.
The
And if I look at his vinyl, I bet you he's marked. Let me look. Look, see, he's got his signature.
He's got the signature on it.
Back and front.
that makes the part of it go down as well.
Yeah, but you don't care.
No, I do. £2,000, and I put a little mic on it.
Dickinson's real deal, mate. You'll be alright.
Yeah, and another tune that
Oh, wow. Yes.
Benny Johnson, one of the first tunes that I helped champion, should I say, and that lot. But people will argue about who played it first, and I mean, it's hard to say who played anything first, really.
does many of these records get played at Rare Group Legends?
Some of them do, yeah. Some of them do.
It's in there. How much
Yeah.
is this worth?
That's probably worth about, I don't know, 150, 200 quid or something like
Who
that.
sings the other
Maybe
version?
more.
Who sings the other versions?
Brockington's.
Okay.
I've got that as well. Yeah.
Testing.
Album or
I told you, don't try and test the gig.
Yeah. And Smoke Screen, I'm so inspired. A lot of people have asked me about this tune recently. But it's cheap. It's like 5-10 quid or something like that. But people don't know it. And this Sam Butler,
Hey.
that's worth quite a lot of money. I think that's worth about, is it £200 to £400 or something like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there any Rare Group record that you haven't got that you really want?
Yeah, there is actually. There's only one that I'm actually after. But I'm not going to say what it is.
Why not?
Because if anybody's watching this, they're going to be searching for it themselves. I don't want to give away the title. There's one tune that I'm after.
Don't want to
right
sell
now.
it to you.
But there might be someone watching that might have it and they want to get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
When I get it, then...
Yeah, but you're going to get it. You're in a
No,
great
I'm looking for
forum
it. I'm looking for it.
to be
I'm
able to
looking for
find
it. I've been
it.
looking for it for years.
Okay.
And I've got a couple of people that are looking for it for me.
Well,
There's
just
only
follow
one tune.
directly at Legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I'm still buying music now. I haven't stopped.
just give us 20%.
I don't know if you'll be able to get this tune. If I was telling you, I don't know if whether I'm not 100%
Finder's
sure
fee.
whether you'd know.
Finder's fee.
Find it. But the thing is, you're going to go and say to somebody, oh, this, and then it's going to spread, and you've got
And
to
the
be very
price is gonna
careful.
go
I
up.
won't mention your name. I'll
The
just
price
say
already-
I've
it's
got a
already
friend
like
asking
£700.
for this
How much is
record.
it?
It's £700 right now.
How much would you pay for it?
I'd pay £700. I'd pay up to
what's that?
£1,000 for it.
£200,000?
200
I'd pay up to
to us.
£1,000 for it, yeah. I would.
£200 to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not telling you either. You might even know what it is.
What's the most
anyway.
you've ever played for a record?
The most? I mean, remember, I was buying music back in the day, so 90, £100 or something like that back in the day. But I was getting stuff, buying stuff, record dealers, Soul Bowl,
And selling records.
and selling records as well.
So it was
And
good.
can I shout out all the people that have contributed to me getting my record collection
course,
as
take
well?
your time, yeah, man.
Quickly, I mean, I just put a couple of names down. I don't want anybody to figure I've forgotten them, but like Bill Shannon from Time Walk Records, and that lot, very, very close with him. Soul Ball Records, Blue Monk
That's John
Records.
Anderson, yeah?
Yeah. Blue Monk Records, Company, Soul Sound, Cass, Time Is Right. I used to be able to go behind the counter when they used to get their stuff as well. I used to give them a few
Time is
titles.
right. Is that, was that
Islington, yeah. Ginger, Dave, and them lot, yeah. They're to do with Steve
you
Davis
can't
and
call
stuff
people
like that as
Ginger
well.
these days.
No, I know, but that was his name. I think his name was Dave, but yeah, you're right. Barry Bam, yourself, Desi G, Stan,
Yeah.
Abim as well, David Reed as well, who we used to DJ together and stuff like that as well. Like when I first moved to South London, and when I first started actually collecting music, me and him used to sort of collect together as well. So yeah,
Interesting.
big up all them guys.
Legs, is
Yeah.
there any regrets over your 30 odd years of everything? Is there anything that you would do or you would change? Is there any one thing that you would change? I can't say because you probably
Yeah,
there's a lot
I
of
mean,
things.
there's a couple of things I probably would. Don't know if I want to talk about them now. There's a couple of them. Yeah, I mean, definitely staying humble is something that's, and I wasn't always like this. I'm not going to lie. I think being humble is very, very, very important because you just never know what's around the corner.
Opportunities,
You know what I mean? So that's important. That's something that I've definitely learned. Definitely.
Your radio show has become more popular now than it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened there?
Stealing my listeners.
I'm just, so you keep telling me, but we play different music. Do you know what? I've always wanted to showcase my music, and I try to not be too commercial. And what I basically do, I play music that I like, and that's it. And I just hope that everybody else enjoys it as well. I don't try and follow a formula. Like, you can't do requests. Oh, can you play this? Can you play that? It's not that type of show. It's a music show. And people that used to go out a long time ago will probably know some of the music. And that's basically what it is. But yeah, it's really, I mean, with the emergence of like Rare Groove Legends, Rare Groove is very, very popular at the moment. We've kind of helped champion that as well. Which I'm really, really surprised, because remember what I said to you, let's do it in a small place.
And for the camera, when is that show?
Oh, sorry, so every Sunday.
You.
No, it's true. No, it's talking about my show. It's not talking about Rare Groove Legends. Rare Groove Legends is 24
No, we're talking about Rare Groove Legends.
No, I'm talking about
the radio show.
It's my show.
Said the
My
radio
radio
show.
show is every Sunday. It's on lightningradio.net.
Yeah.
Between the hours of 8 and 11, and it's strictly Rare Groove. Sometimes,
Good show, wicked show.
Sometimes I do 80s R&B, because people get that mixed up as well. The 80s
There's a
R&B.
difference?
There's definitely a difference, yeah. The problem is, at the time when Rare Groove was being played, people was also playing new music. So people that weren't there think, for instance, Luther Vandross is Rare Groove.
I wouldn't classify it as Rare
No,
Groove.
but there's a lot of people that will play that type of music thinking, like, they'll go to a Rare Groove dance and they want to play Luther Vandross because it was being played at the time. But no, it was new music at the time that was being played.
Please classify Rare Groove for your audience.
Yeah, give us your
Well, you've
definition.
already said it. It's independent music from the 70s and 80s, not from the 90s
Hard
for
to
me.
find.
Why can't-
Independent, hard to find music. But then there's things that have come through that are not hard to find, that, you know, get through on the Rare Groove scene as well. But for me, it's independent stuff.
Can we add any new songs into the Rare Groove
Personally,
genre of... Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I'd more leave that up to you, probably. No, because I'm stuck in that time, that golden era.
Do you classify Melvin Hudson, Life in the City, as Rare Groove?
No,
You don't? Would you classify?
I would never. That's a 90s tune for me. Independent. It's a rock tune, isn't it? Yeah, but no, I wouldn't.
That used to be one of your favourite records.
It still is.
Still is.
Anything from the 90s is not Rare Groove to me. I wouldn't play it in a Rare Groove dance. Nothing from the 90s.
It's so interesting you say that, because I remember playing a gig in Croydon when I was resident when times were hard, and I remember people coming up, people coming up and saying, "Oh, can you play some Rare Groove? Rare Groove? Yeah, that classic Janet Jackson, The Way You Love Me and stuff like that." They saw that as, like, the youngsters saw that as their Rare Groove,
and they probably would. And if you're younger, you probably will see it like that. If you're in your early 40s or whatever, you might see tunes like that as your Rare Groove. Jody see that era of music as your Rare Groove. But for somebody who's my age and that lot.
So your audience, you don't want them to be younger. You just want them to be of a certain age.
Younger people, but the thing is, the younger people then
They come out to the Rare Groove gigs.
I mean, my daughter, for instance, she knows all the tunes. Just because she's younger and she's a big woman, she's married, just because she's younger doesn't mean that she doesn't know. She knows the music because obviously she was around me all the time. So
she's probably a bit.
I think
she's probably a better selector than you. Anyway.
We've got. I mean, if you look at the Rare Groove dancers and that lot, a lot of the people that go to the dance and that lot, they're younger as well. They're like, it's their daughters. you know, the parents' daughters that are coming there. We haven't just got like people like my age and that
Old
in
foot,
there.
yeah, there's
no,
no old
we
foot
haven't.
in
We've got a lot of people that go to the Rare Groove dances, and it surprised me. They're in their 30s and 40s.
It's true.
And they've heard about it, and they like the
I'm a
music.
perfect example.
And they like the music. You're in your 30s and 40s, are you?
No. Reggie, don't go there.
Let's say lower 40s.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we've got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I've got one last question to ask you. I don't think we've kind of touched on it or not. You don't play in today's blues dances so much.
No.
Being that I would say latest edition was born from
Yeah.
blues dances,
Yeah.
and you are no doubt one of the kings. You might not want to do it, you might not want to say it, but you are one of the kings of the blues dances.
Yeah.
Latest edition, definitely are.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it? Why don't you really do blues dances?
Have you seen some of the houses that people are playing in now? Number one. And number two as well, if I'm totally honest as well, and this is my personal opinion, that lot. I mean, some of the guys that are playing in the blues dances, are they really DJs? Honestly. Like, really. I mean, you know, there's some... Nah, I'm not interested. And then the other thing as well, I mean, some of them have cheapened it. And when I say this, I mean, how much money are they getting paid? 50, 60, 70 pound, 100 pound? I was getting 200, 300 pound like in the 80s. Why am I gonna? If you're gonna book me now, you got to pay me the right amount of money.
Yeah, the money.
And the music,
£5 worth of
and some of the
music
music that's been played as well. And that, like, some of it I just don't like.
So you're just not feeling it?
No. I'm not. You know, if you pay me the right amount of money and that lot, and the right lineup comes up like together and that lot, then I would do it. But as it stands right now, why am I going to go into a blues dance where there's like 16 DJs or 10 DJs playing? When am I going to play? I'm going to play once.
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and then the promoter's going to want to give me £100 or whatever.
I'll second that.
It's not worth it.
It's
not worth my
definitely
while.
not.
I heard your set at White Lion recently and totally agree.
Yeah, it was on the...
Smashed it.
Right, you saw. There was just 2 of us.
Yeah.
Right, and there was all types of people there, and I've got to play for a long time, and I've got to do my thing. There wasn't even no MC.
I would pay £20 to hear that set.
And that's what I like to do.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I like to do.
You never said that about one of my sets.
He was at White Lion. Was you at White Lion
there.
at the time? I'm back there again with Jerry Baskin as well,
wicked.
doing the same thing. But
Wicked.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That should be good.
So thank you, DJ Legs. This is what I'm saying. Can we give him a salute? He's definitely
No,
a
no,
I
five.
told you, King man,
Definitely a
you
five.
don't want to accept the King.
But,
Oh, what's going on here?
why has he got great, bro?
Wow.
He's got a choice.
He's got a choice. He's got a choice.
Wow.
He's got
What's
a choice.
going on here?
He's got a choice.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. Somebody called.
This will save me my clothes as well.
Wow.
Oh wow.
You know, nobody else has ever had this,
It
ever.
took him 7 dances.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You are now official.
And make sure you keep coming and supporting the music as well.
Please do, because at the end of the day, this is why we do the podcast, because, you know, if we don't talk about our history, if we don't talk about what sounds and DJs have done, then there's nothing. You know, people forget about you, they forget about your excellence, what you've achieved and what you've done. And this is where, to go on your point, other DJs like to compare themselves against you. When it's good to do that, but respect the levels.
But know
That's
the
what I'm
levels.
saying.
Know the levels.
Yeah. Know the levels. You understand?
Yeah,
Until
exactly.
you've done what this gentleman has done and achieved, then you can't compare yourself to him. You understand? You can only do so by having your
It's
own
right for people to think that
storyboard.
they're better than you, though, because it's good to have that mindset that you
Of
think
course,
that you're good. Nothing wrong with that.
But not to think that they're on the same level. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of DJs do it nonchalantly. Nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is.
Nonchalant.
Nonchalantly. Yeah, you went to uni. A lot of them, they do that and they just think that they're on the same level, and they actually aren't comparing like for like. And that's my thing. They need to look at what you've achieved, what you've
But they're
done.
not really going to know, are they, really?
Well, this is part of the
Well, this is
Yeah,
documented.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Now they're saying, wow.
Put some
Yeah.
respect on your name.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
I've done that for a little while, actually, but yeah.
So thank you, DJ
Yeah,
Legs,
thank you very much for having me. I'm so
coming
glad
back.
to have been here.
No doubt you'll be back at some point, because we could have talked about there's
a lot of things,
the
yeah.
stuff that we haven't gone through, the stuff, and so what we
The band lists.
So yeah, the band list. The naughty
Anyway.
list. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that on another episode, maybe sometime down the lane. But thanks a lot for coming in and sharing your story.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a
And we
pleasure.
didn't even say your government name once.
That's good, thank you. You're doing a very, very good job now as well.
Exactly. But they can find you on Facebook
Under a different name. On Facebook.
so you're on Facebook, you're on Insta? You're on
Instagram, yeah, at DJ Legs, Ray Groove _, Ray _Groove _Legends on Instagram as well. I don't know if you've
I've
jumped
seen
on
you
it.
post your first Mixcloud. What's that?
Yeah, I've done that last week. I'm going to put a few things up because people have been on me for how many years. I'm going to probably put about 10 up. Ray Groove and A's. I've got if you go on Mixcloud, DJ Legs,
That's
Super
my
Sundays
week of
on
listening
Facebook.
sorted then.
Yeah, then
I can go hunting my bootleg MP3s.
I've had some good numbers. yeah.
So thanks once
Thanks
again.
for having me.
Right, so our sponsors. Do you want to say them? Because you just...
Yeah, where's my drink as well?
I'm going to bring it round.
Yeah.
I'll bring it round. I would do.
Sponsors, World Mag,
Yeah?
Escapism,
Oh, wow.
360.
Escapism 360.
Punchline, the cool Caribbean rum.
Yeah,
And
punchline.
Yeah, where are they? Where's my
I'm
drink?
going to bring them round.
LVTV.
I'm going to get them for Ryan. I'm going to bring them round. LVT Productions and Windrush Bar and Restaurant.
Ryan?
Yeah,
Which Ryan?
my Ryan.
Really? Is that his drink?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's his company.
yeah.
Nice one.
I've already declared it. I've already declared it, yeah. So it's not no secret sponsorship. I've already declared it. I don't know if it's come out yet. Jay. Anyway, what I would say is, are you go on then?
Hold on.
Are you going to finish it off?
Go on.
What's that?
You were saying?
Oh no, I was just telling you what you. Don't forget your lines.
This really bugged me. No, I didn't forget about that. Let me just fix you up.
Oh, yeah.
I hate. You're child. Come on, bro. Come on,
Michael's
bro.
the editor that's in your ear that tells you what to say on TV.
Yeah, them ones.
So he's doing a bit of prompting, that's it.
Yeah?
Really.
Okay. So
Earn your money.
we'll be back. We're talking about the culture, the street sounds culture, and we're charting the history from 80s right up till present. So like, share, and comment when you see our podcast come out on Facebook or on YouTube. Set the Trend podcast. Make sure you comment. You may have some different stories than what we know, because a lot of the stories we got, they're 30 odd years old, and some of them may be a little bit wrong. It's got a slightly twist on it, which we'd love to hear from you. So please like, share, and comment, and make it your own, because it is also yours as well. And we wouldn't be doing this without you. So thank you, and we'll see you on another edition of Set the Trend podcast, available on iTunes, as well as, so you can listen to it as well. So go on iTunes, and you can listen it on your way work. See you later. And salute again to the 5-star general.
King,
In the
last
bed.
king of Red Roof.